I'm Hayden, and this is my husband, Aaron. We sold everything we owned to start traveling full-time, searching for the best vegan food in every country around the world. For the past 2 months, we've been exploring the best of Mexico, and today we're taking you around Mexico City.
Hello from Mexico City!
We're here outside the Castillo de Chapultepec, right here in downtown Mexico City, and it's not something you would expect in a massive city like this.
We started our day this morning eating breakfast at Plan V, an all-vegan little cafe, and we made our way to the Bosque de Chapultepec, which is a giant park in the middle of the city, which is really cool. It's twice the size of Central Park in New York City, and here we are on top of this castle. It's got a beautiful view, and I think there's an anthropology museum inside of here. There's some kind of museum inside of this castle. We don't really know anything about it, so we got a fun day planned. We're going to be exploring all the highlights that this city has to offer. We're excited to bring you along with us.
Come learn with us.
Let's do it.
So everything is in Spanish, so in our broken Spanish, we're learning that basically Spain came and massacred all of the indigenous people, and so a lot of these are like original paintings from Spanish or original artifacts from the Mayans and from the Aztec people. That's just about all we've gathered so far. Really old paintings. Okay, so we made our way through the majority of this castle. To be honest, I still couldn't tell you very much about it, but there are some really cool old artifacts in here. If you've watched our channel for any amount of time, you probably know we're not religious people by any stretch of the word. So I think a lot of the significance here is kind of lost on us. There's Our Lady of Guadalupe imagery, and I'm way more interested in like ancient people, like the Aztecs and the indigenous folks.
We learned that, and this is very true in America as well, that people were just kind of living their best life, hanging out, doing their thing, and then here comes the Spaniards or the Europeans, and they just trounce all over and tear things down and put up their own imagery and force religion upon the native folk, and then
control a population through their religion.
And here's disease. I don't know, there's some really cool stuff here though. Like there's really cool like old artifacts from the different wars that have happened, and learned about how Japan was one of the first countries to actually recognize Mexico's government, and had no idea, stuff like that. You could spend half a day here easily, just going through and looking at all the paintings and everything that's here, and it's really cool. It's definitely worth checking it out though.
Now it's time for lunch.
Food. That's why we're here. That's why we do what we do.
That's why we go anywhere, is because there's going to be a food break eventually.
Let's go.
Okay. I will say though that my favorite part of the whole thing were these giant malachite like structures. They're made out of malachite, and these doors. And like I said, I'm more interested in like the natural world, so I was like, this is way cooler than the like portraits of old white men on the walls. So the food in Mexico City has been absolutely incredible, and every time we sit down to eat, we're like, this is the best insert food item we've ever had. And our next video is going to be a full vegan food tour video of everything that we've eaten in this city over the whole month. But now we're trying our first like street food in one of these little like taco stands, and it's called Gatorta, and it's supposed to be really good. Highly recommended, so let's check it out.
So I got the torta milanese, which is like a breaded seitan patty. It looks incredible. Looks like there's beans, lettuce, and maybe like some mayonnaise and some avocado. It's very delicious. Texture's good. I like the beans in there. Brings a really nice flavor. Avocado's nice and creamy. Very good.
So I got the soyita pibil, which is traditionally like a pork dish. This is made out of soy, but I think it's marinated with like orange, so it has like a nice round flavor to it. Really good. It's hard to eat, but it's delicious. So they also have really good looking desserts. And everybody started grabbing these out of the case. I don't know what it is. It kind of looks like a Twinkie. But everybody started getting them, so I nabbed one before they ran out of them. It's like a lemon cake inside of here, covered in like a pink frosting. Very good.
We got dropped off in our Uber literally right around the corner, and it's pure Mexico City, like shops everywhere, people everywhere, and you turn the corner and boom, these ruins. It's a really cool juxtaposition.
We're standing in front of Templo Mayor, which is the original Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan, which was the original name of the city here in Mexico City. And we're not going to go inside, but you can see a lot of the ruins here right behind us. And what we are going to go see is the Catedral Metropolitana, which is right next door here. And there are some fun facts that we know about the cathedral. So, the Spanish came, decided to build a cathedral right on top of the ruins from the Aztec capital, completely destroyed it, and used the actual stones from the temple to build the cathedral.
So one of the cool things about this cathedral is it is the largest and the oldest in all of Latin America. Let's go check it out.
Another fun fact is it took 250 years to build, and it's sinking. Because of this city being built on top of a dry lake bed, as well as all the seismic activity and the low water table, this building is sinking, and it used to be like an endangered building, but I think that they've rigged it up in a way that it's not sinking anymore. Whenever I walk into a church, which I try not to do very often, I always hesitate just a little bit in case we burst into flames. Plus, Aaron has like a Satan tattoo. Like, if anybody paid attention to us in there, they'd be like, "Get out, devil worshippers."
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and talk ill will about anybody's religion. If that's your thing, that's your thing. That's cool, you know. Everybody's got to have something. But it is very, very ornate and beautiful and gorgeous.
The architecture is cool. I would love to hear the organ. Like, the organ is huge.
I was laughing. I was standing in front of the organ. I was like, wow, that must be like the wind in the pipes or something. It's the guy cleaning the floor underneath
like buffing
it.
the floor.
But yeah.
It's worth checking out. And it's free to just walk in and take a look at the architecture.
I bet it's wild at like
on a
Easter Sunday
mass.
at a mass.
Something we won't be ever attending.
Never know. Might be somewhere cool where it's like, okay, let's go check out mass.
Okay.
Semana Santa.
Well, we are going to see Semana Santa in Guadalajara coming up here in the end of the year, or in a couple of months. So right across from the cathedral is the Zocalo, which is this giant open square, the giant Mexican flag. And this is where people come to like gather, and right across from here is the Palacio Nacional, which is like a big government building, and I believe, I could be wrong, but the president comes here to like speak to his people, and people gather in this area. So we've been in this city now for a whole month, and we have some observations. First of all, this is the largest city in North America, with almost 22 million people that live here, which is nuts. This city is huge, like, and we haven't even scraped the surface of how much there is to do here and see.
So people love PDA here. It's everywhere. People making out, grabbing ass, all over the place.
From 1 minute to the next, the smells in this city change drastically. 1 minute you're loving the smell of churros, and then you're hit in the face with some sewage stank.
Traffic here is crazy. And even just trying to walk, it seems like rules just kind of go out the window a little bit. Everybody's just kind of pulling into different lanes and cutting each other off. And it's pretty insane. Like, there's been a couple of times we've been in the back of an Uber and my anxiety has kicked in real hard because we come flying up behind somebody and then stop that far away from them. But I don't know if I'd want to drive in this city.
Another observation is that the military is very present here. In fact, a lot of the guards who are just guarding random buildings, they're all very heavily armed, which is pretty odd coming from the United States. It's not something we see very often, but I think it's pretty common here. And I guess you just have to remember that they're here to protect you and to protect like the building that they're guarding, and it's, you know, you shouldn't be scared of it, but it is a little jarring when you see just men with huge guns out on the road. So the next thing up on our agenda today is to go to the top of the Sears building.
Not the Sears Tower.
Not the Sears Tower, but the Sears building. They have a really cool view of the Palacio de Bellas Artes that we're standing in front of, which is where actually tomorrow we're gonna go see the Ballet Folklorico. We decided not to stay at the cafe, but it's on the 8th floor of the Sears building, and we're legit like in a building, like in a department store.
So we're supposed to be at dinner right now according to Hayden's schedule, but neither one of us are actually hungry after that huge lunch that we had. So we found a little cerveceria and we've got some drinks and we're gonna sit here for about an hour. Plus we have this totally cool view of just people walking by. There's major street running through here, and it's gonna be great people watching, and there's a park right here, so it's beautiful.
We ended our night at a super secret speakeasy bar called Hanky Panky. We won't tell you how to find it, that's half the fun, but once you're inside, you'll find world-class mixologists who make some absolutely incredible drinks. So much fun.
I just bit my lip and almost puked.
That would have been interesting.
I have crap all over my face. And here's disease. Never lets me order gin.